If you had one advice for a young player who's thinking of being a padel pro or starting maybe padel, what would be that advice?
I would say just start it, and then if you fail, do it again. If you fail, do it again. Check your mistakes, keep on going. If you feel that you want to stop something, ask yourself, what did you say on the first day when you started? I would say my idol is Augsburger, but obviously Tapia is the best. It gives you confidence and ego is really important in this sport, but you have to stay humble, but you need ego. My goal is to play for the first time, but after that we'll see.
Hello guys, this is Shelley and this is Padel Tech, and we are here in the wonderful and sunny Törökbálint at the club, and I have a guest, Oliver Geresi. He's one of the youngest, or actually he is the youngest Hungarian national padel player. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Hi.
Hello guys.
Is it an honor to play in the national team for you?
Of course it is. It is really surrealistic, because being in the national team as an 18-year-old athlete after 2 years of paddle, it's pretty crazy, and it also gives me so much motivation to keep on going and train more and more.
I wanted to ask you, like, even if you have already a driving license or you were already in the national team?
I got my driving license earlier though. I started playing tennis when I was like 9 to 10 years old, and then I went to a summer camp. There I got really motivated to play more tennis, and I actually wanted to be a professional tennis player and go to university to play at a uni team. But when I was, I think, 16, I tried paddle, and then I fell in love with the sport instantly. And then I asked my mom if I could switch, and then she didn't even know paddle is a big sport. She thought it's like an amateur hobby sport, and she also searched up paddle, and then of course she realized it's a really big sport though. And then I instantly switched. I started playing with László Imre, the Hungarian national captain. I started training with him and also playing 2 to 3 matches per day. So I fell in love with the sport instantly.
Yeah, that's a lot actually, like 2-3 matches a day.
When I started, I was completely in love with the sport, and I just couldn't keep staying at home. When I had time, I just went to the paddle court and then played with amateurs first, and then after I got to a decent level, I obviously started to play with better players. And then like 1.5 years ago, actually I started playing with Tommy. Mm-hmm. He started to invite me to better matches with the Hungarian national team, and that made me
train harder
to play more on a better level. And then I started training with Milan Terkovic. Mm-hmm. And then obviously his paddle knowledge is really good. He has more than 10 years behind his back in Tenerife. He lived in Tenerife, and that really made me improve a lot working with him. So I'm really grateful to him.
If we just catch back to the beginnings, do you remember your first ever paddle match and paddle racket and paddle experience? How was it, and when was it?
It was actually in park with László. I went to a training with him to try the sport, and it was with my old tennis friend, and then I wanted to switch with him, but he said this sport isn't for him. But as I said, I was instantly in love with the sport, and I said to him that I'm sorry that our ways have to cross, but I have to say goodbye to you. My dream was to play with him, to partner up with him and compete together, but that's life.
He's still in tennis?
He's still in tennis, but in like a hobby.
Okay.
Hobby level now. He also wanted to be a professional, but school came for him and he wants to go to med school, so the career is over.
Was it a hard conversation with your parents that you said, okay, I would like to be, a professional padel player?
Actually, not that hard, because I came from professional tennis and the situationship and the costs are basically the same. But they never thought that I would travel this much, because when I played tennis, I was in the middle class in the ranking. So I couldn't really break out to international levels. And with paddle now, I just broke out from the Hungarian level and I want to compete internationally. And then now we are facing the costs, but I'm looking for sponsors to play more and more abroad.
You not just train here in Hungary with the Hungarian national team, but you also train in Romania, for example, with Milan. But also you travel a lot because of the tournaments and matches. Is it hard to, be all the time on the road?
I love it. I just love it. I love to travel, and obviously I love paddle, and combining these two, it really makes me really happy. And be with my partner Marcel, we're having so much fun on these trips.
How is the chemistry with you on the court and off the court?
Obviously it's really good, because you just can't play that well with someone who doesn't have the good chemistry with. For example, if you could play with Tapia, but if you don't like each other, you would lose to an amateur. But
I'm not sure of that, but yeah, kind of. I know your point.
Yeah, but it's really important to have a good relationship with your partner in and off court. On and off court.
You just mentioned Tapi, and you mentioned before when we had other conversation, other players, for example, Augsburger. So he's playing with a kind of the same racket that you play. Can you tell me a few things about the racket and the sponsorship you have right now from Siux?
Yeah, of course. This is actually Alex Chossa's racket, but I'm waiting for a new racket. Actually, I'm going to switch to Leo Augsburger's racket. It's a little bit more manageable, and it has a different coloring, so it will be fully black, not like brownish orangish, and then it will be more manageable, because this is really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
but
it's good for your smashes.
It's really good for my playstyle, but I would love to play a little bit softer though, because with this my game is too aggressive and my defending is not that well.
We just mentioned Augsburger. He's someone you like look up to as an idol, or who's the favorite you would like to team up with, or who's the one who's playing style and his game is kind of ideal for you?
I would say my idol is Augsburger, but obviously Tapia is the best. Because Augsburger really needs to slow his game down. His aggressive playstyle is really good, but after like a decent level, if there is a slower court, he's not that offensive. They actually beat Tapia and Coelho in Santiago, but it was a really fast court, and then they faced them again in a slower court and they lost. So I would say he's my idol, but the best for me is Tapia, I think.
Is it also in a bit lower level something that you can differentiate your game, for example, if the court is slower or faster?
Of course, the weather conditions are playing a huge role in a match. In Hungary, I think there is a decent level actually. The Hungarian national team plays really well though, and then at this level, the conditions really affect the play style.
Okay, you prefer to play outside or inside?
I would say inside, because of the wind, the sun, the rain, and I like to play a lot of smashes, and then if there is no wind, there is no sun, I can focus on the ball more.
Let's talk about this summer, because there's a big event coming up in this summer and you're part of the national team. What are your expectations and what's this event actually?
So we are going to the FIP European Cup. Now it's not European Championships, but it's the same thing. And I'm really excited to go. I also started training really hard. I just finished this year's school, so I will have more time to focus on paddle. I can go to fitness trainings in the mornings, also paddle practice, and then play a match in the afternoon. So I'm really excited. I really want to play good matches. I want to play good matches against good players, and there will be the best players in Europe there. My expectations are really optimistic. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. But for sure, we're gonna learn a lot of things.
How can we imagine your average day look like as a kind of a pro athlete, actually?
Right now, I would say I'm a semi-pro, because I also have school and I'm not a private student. So I have four days of study days in the school. So I have 1 day break, and there I can play more. But my daily routine is basically go to school, and then I will have 1 or 2 paddle practices in the afternoon, one fitness, one paddle.
And in the summer, when there's no school?
I play in the mornings too, and then play in the afternoons too, and go train abroad, maybe to Ferraro Academy. I was there in the spring break, and then we are planning to stay in Madrid after the Europeans with Marcel to stay and become a really good athlete.
I really wish the best of luck for that. Anything else you would like really to share?
I think it's really important to share your experiences, your results, your journey, because having a crowd supports you the most. I think having people cheering for you really keeps you going when the days are really hard. And I just made a paddle account on Instagram, and I will be posting there as much as I can.
There's one more topic I wanted to talk about, then that's technology, because we're talking about not just paddle but also tech in paddle as well. So do you use any, I don't know, heart trackers or any other gadgets that can help you improve, or do you use any video analysis or something like that to help you, getting better?
Sometimes I record my matches and then watch it again and correct my mistakes in my head. So I analyze my game with Milan. I usually call him, and then he's analyzing my game, and he tells me my mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's very important to catch not just like your mistakes, but also catch those points where you're actually good at. For example, if you have a very strong shot or very strong, kind of smashes, it's also important for you and for Milan to highlight those as well.
Yeah, obviously it gives you confidence and ego is really important in this sport, but you have to stay humble, but you need ego to play better. You need ego.
How many players you enjoy play with here in Hungary right now, if you could tell me a number?
I would say around 4, but fortunately there are many players who also want to be a professional, so it's really hard to train in Hungary, but I think it's improving. Hungary needs a lot of junior athletes, and that would help the situation in Hungary a lot, and also build more and more clubs.
If you had one advice for a young player who's thinking of being a padel pro or just starting maybe padel, what would be that advice?
I would say just start it, and then if you fail, do it again. If you fail, do it again. Check your mistakes, keep on going, and then if you feel that you want to stop something, ask yourself, what did you say on the first day when you started? And that's what keeps me going. That I said when I started playing, I want to play World Padel Tour. At that time it was still available, but now it's Premier Padel. Now I really want to, my goal is to play one match at Premier Padel for the first time, but after that we'll see. Maybe get in the top 100, but that's just the dream now.
Yeah, but I absolutely wish you luck for that. Okay,
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for watching this video. Here you can subscribe to our channel, and here are our 2 latest videos, one up here and another one here. Don't forget to like this video as well, share it with your friends, and follow us every time, everywhere.